Explore the vibrant arts and culture landscape of Michigan, a state with a thriving creative ecosystem that has birthed iconic movements like Motown and the Purple Rose Theater. Home to legendary musicians, writers, and artists, Michigan boasts a rich tapestry of cultural heritage known worldwide. Michigan Creates is a podcast series that will connect listeners with gifted artists and cultural institutions that are nurturing Michigan's vibrant creative landscape. Before we get started, I want to let you know this is a slightly different episode of Michigan Creates. There's no guest conversation today. Instead, this is a short reflection, something I've been sitting with after more than 2 years of interviewing artists and art organizations in Michigan. It's not an analysis, it's not a critique, and it's definitely not political. It's simply an honest observation about visibility, sustainability, and what happens when meaningful work goes unseen. So thank you for listening, and let's begin. I want to start with something I've been thinking about a lot lately. After 2 years of hosting this podcast, after sitting across from painters, musicians, designers, filmmakers, writers, and just as importantly, leaders of art organizations, I don't think most artists are failing. I think most artists in many art organizations are simply invisible. And those two things get confused all the time. When we talk about failure in the arts, we usually mean numbers, attendance, funding, followers, revenue. They're easy to point to and they're easy to measure. And because they're public, they become the scorecard. But here's what I've learned from these conversations. Some of the most impactful artists and organizations I've encountered are doing meaningful work, often quietly, often under enormous pressure and with very little visibility. I've interviewed leaders running organizations deeply embedded in their communities, places that educate, that preserve culture, that create access where none existed before, and yet they're struggling. Not because they don't matter, not because they aren't well run, but because the environment around them has changed. Funding is harder, costs are higher, attention is fragmented, expectations keep rising. Some of these organizations are closing. Not with a scandal, not with headlines, just quietly. A program disappears, a space goes dark, a mission ends. And from the outside, it can look like failure. From the inside, it often looks like exhaustion. Artists feel invisible. Organizations feel invisible. And invisibility over time erodes stability. If people don't see the work, don't understand the value, don't witness the impact, support slowly thins out. This isn't about blame, and it's not about politics. It's about reality. The systems that support creative work are strained, and strain doesn't always show up dramatically. Sometimes it just shows up as fewer options. What worries me most isn't just the closures, it's what disappears with them. Institutional memory, mentorship, cultural community, access for the next generation. When an art organization closes, it's not just a building or a budget line, it's years of relationships. I hear the same frustration again and again. Leaders doing more with less, artists carrying institutional weight, organizations spending more time justifying their existence than doing the work itself. That's not failure. That's pressure without relief. So what do we do about this? I don't really have a great answer, but maybe we ask better questions. What's still here and barely holding on? What do we return to? Who is doing the work quietly year after year? Support doesn't always mean grand gestures. Sometimes it means consistency, showing up, giving modestly but regularly, telling someone else why a place matters. The creative ecosystem isn't full of failures. It's full of people and organizations doing essential work in a system that doesn't always make room for them to be seen. So if an artist or an organization disappeared tomorrow, would you notice? And if the answer is no, what might change if you did? Thanks for tuning in to another episode of Michigan Creates. We hope you've had fun diving into the creativity of our state. From Motown melodies to artisanal wonders, Michigan never fails to dazzle. But hey, the creativity doesn't stop here. Connect with us online, subscribe to our channel so you don't miss new episodes. Help us spread the word and also share your own artistic stories. So until next time, I'm Ara Topouzian, and I want you to keep those musical instruments in tune, keep those paintbrushes moving, and keep those cameras rolling. Remember, in Michigan, the only limit is your imagination. Stay creative.